Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's been a while since all four of us were together, like 4 or 5 months, in fact. So I'm glad to congregate and bring some new material to the channel. Here with Brian, Doc, Randy. Great to be back with all three of you guys. Tonight we're going to do a little fluff piece, I think. It's nothing monumental. One word movie titles. 10 favorites from each of us. Not necessarily best or acclaimed, but favorites. Ones we go back to, ones that when they're on and we're flipping channels, we're going to stick with it for the ride out. That's what a favorite is to me. You may have a collection too. That's another parameter that a favorite would be. So tonight's order is Randy, Brian, Doc, and myself. So, any further ado, let's do it. Randy, what do you have for us? 10 through 1.
All right, my number 10 from 1979, I got Alien, the start of that great franchise, classic horror, sci-fi. Kind of hard to top the Aliens' first appearance in this film. And I could have included the second film in this one because they're both classics, but I'm going with Alien, Ridley Scott.
Nice.
Number 9 from 1946, I got Gilda. One of the best character introductions in Rita Hayworth, where she just looks around and flips her hair. But and George McCready just makes a great villain in this one. It's a wonderful noir, directed by Charles Vider. It was kind of out of his wheelhouse, but he did a great job on this one because he mostly did romantic stuff. 1944, and number 8 is Laura, another woman's name. Another fantastic noir where the police detective, played by Dana Andrews, falls for the murder victim he's investigating through her portrait. But all is not as it seems. It's just a great noir mystery by Otto Preminger, who did several really good noirs. Number 7, I'm going way back, 1931, Frankenstein. Classic Universal horror film directed by James Whale, where the atmosphere is everything. And Boris Karloff gives the monster a heartbreaking humanity. Some fine, chilling scenes, even though it was made in 1931.
Yep.
My number 6 is Fargo from 1996. Wonderful mixture of dark comedy, suspense, and violence with Frances McDormand's iconic performance as the pregnant sheriff looking into several murders. Just a Coen Brothers masterpiece, I think. Number 5, 1960, I got Psycho, Alfred Hitchcock's widening of the thriller genre, creating a horror classic that still packs a punch no matter how many times you've seen it. The shower scene is still amazing, and that you're certain that you see more than you actually do. My number 4, from 1975, I got Jaws. If Hitchcock's Psycho made you afraid to take a shower, Steven Spielberg's Jaws made you afraid to swim in the ocean. Full of chilling scenes and great creator of tension in this movie. Robert Shaw's macabre tale of the fate of the USS Indianapolis and is a highlight, as well as John Williams' score. And Brian would probably like that Robert Shaw did not get along with.
I knew there was a reason I liked that guy.
My number 2 is, number 3. Number 3 is Vertigo from 1958. It's been called Hitchcock's masterpiece, although I do like a couple of his films more than this one. It's been listed as the greatest film of all time in several polls, including the British Film Institute, but it has actually fallen in AFI's. It's like number 40 or 50 something like that. But great mixture of mystery, thriller, and an almost noirish obsession, which it's hard to be more obsessed than James Stewart is in this movie. My number 2, and it's Chinatown. Now it's listed as one word in the movie. So
Yep.
Perfect film I think just a perfect film with Jack Nicholson as the hard-boiled detective, Jake Gittes. It has a complicated plot that still rewards the viewer with each watch. Everything just works in this film, I think. Great Roman Polanski direction. And my number 1 film, Casablanca, if I was going to have a young person see a black and white movie, this might be the one I would choose for them to see. It's got one of the most quoted movies of all time with the sparkling dialogue. Michael Curtiz, not known as an auteur, as he made films in all kinds of different genres, really has some stylish touches in this one. And Humphrey Bogart and Ingrid Bergman's performances are perfection. And Rich will be happy to know that in the last AFI thing, it flip-flopped with The Godfather. Godfather went ahead of it. But Casablanca, that's my number one.
Yep, very great list. I like 2 Hitchcocks on there, which was very cool. And Randy's got an eye for the ladies, the beautiful Jean Tierney in Laura and Rita Hayworth in Gilda. Excellent.
Very good.
All right.
Thanks.
Great list.
Brian, you're up.
All right, so mine's going to have, some of this is going to sound kind of familiar, but some of it's a little bit more like me in a lot of ways. At number 10, I've got, Doc might appreciate this, I've got Logan, directed by James Mangold, a recent film. I know it's a superhero film, but really it's kind of a neo-Western film on top of that. Obviously set kind of in the future and the fate of the mutant universe. Maybe it was supposed to be the last stint for Hugh Jackman playing the Wolverine character, but he was actually convinced to come back and will now star in the Deadpool series as Logan as well. Also, big shout out to Daphne Keane, the young girl who plays Laura or X-23. She has some pretty badass moments in the movie. I think the kill count is like right on par with John Wick in some of those scenes with her. So good for her. Good for her. Number 9, I've got Interstellar. Christopher Nolan shout out here. I really like this movie. I like sci-fi, and Christopher Nolan tackling this, and stars Matthew McConaughey, who's sent on a mission to try to check and see whether there's some habitable planets that the human beings can go to, since the world is basically dying from some type of blight disease that's killing all the vegetation on the planet. And so really great visual effects. A lot of the science is based in root physics, and they used Kip Thorne on the movie as an advisor for a lot of the physics stuff, especially the black hole, how it was viewed, and some of the stuff's a little bit far out there, the Tesseract scene and stuff like that. But a really great movie, and it's entertaining. I always watch all of it when I get a chance. Number 8 for me, I've got Gladiator with Ridley Scott and Russell Crowe playing the Maximus Roman general who is betrayed and then reduced to slavery, and he kind of fights his way back so he gets into the arena to get his revenge on the emperor, who was played very deviously and very well by Joaquin Phoenix. Connie Nielsen's also very good in this, and Oliver Reed, and I think it was his final film role, as a matter of fact. Won Best Picture and Best Actor for Crow. Hans Zimmer did the soundtrack for it. Number 7, I've got Vertigo as well, Randy. James Stewart and Kim Novak, really kind of an entertaining film. The first time I saw it, my professor kept doing this thing before we watched the movie called I Look Up, I Look Down, I Look Up, I Look Down. What he was talking about. So we watched the movie, and now I always kind of lead with that whenever I talk about it. Especially famous for the dolly zoom of, and the mirrors and the stuff like that. Great effects that were in there. I think it's just incredible. Great Bernard Herrmann score as well. Very lush and hypnotic. So kind of fits it all. Number 6 is Rocky. I'm sure Doc has my back on this one.
Mm-hmm.
Cast here, especially the supporting cast with Talia Shire and Burt Young, Burgess Meredith. Yeah, you got to get him, Rock. 3 Academy Awards: Best Picture, Best Director, Best Editing. I know Doc feels like it's maybe his favorite sports movie of all time. I know he's mentioned it several times, so I think I've made a good choice there. Number 5, I've got Alien as well, Randy. The first one, although I do like Aliens quite well as well. I'm going to give the shout out to the first one, directed by Ridley Scott. Sigourney Weaver as Ellen Ripley, which may be the ultimate feminist heroine in a film at that point, and very iconic, obviously. Great ensemble cast, though. I mean, it's got Ian Holm, it's got John Hurt, it's got Tom Skerritt, just surrounded by great actors, and the production design's heavily influenced by the artwork of H.R. Geiger, and it's known for its great visual, stunning effects and everything. So great movie. Number 4, Randy, I'm right there with you. Chinatown, Roman Polanski's big hit with Jack Nicholson as a private investigator. Jake Getz, who's often considered one of the greatest screenplays ever written. Faye Dunaway delivers this great layered performance as Evelyn Mulray, and John Huston is chilling as the bad antagonist in this. It was nominated for 11 Academy Awards, winning Best Original Screenplay, if I'm not mistaken. Jaws is number 3 for me. So, I'm right there with you again. If Richard Dreyfuss was out of the movie, this could have been number 1 on my list. Just, some things got to drag the film down once in a while. I mean, I was rooting for the shark big time, for most of it.
Especially within the cage.
Somehow slipped out of that boat unharmed. Great Best Original Score from John Williams. It did win 3 Academy Awards, and it's just really like the epitome of suspenseful movies, I think, to date. That and The Exorcist kind of set the tone for how suspense and horror movies really should be shot going forward. Number 2, maybe Doc's got my back on this one as well. I got Goodfellas, directed by Martin Scorsese. Kind of redefined the whole gangster genre. Ray Liotta plays Henry Hill, who is a mobster who gets in with the local Italian mob, and it's got Robert De Niro as Jimmy Conway and Joe Pesci as Tommy DeVito. Pesci won the Academy Award for Best Supporting Actor in this. Just a really great narration with it, and it's just like the ultimate gangster mafia type movie, and really it was like kind of at the end of a long line of them, leading up like maybe through this one and then Casino. But it's kind of like all epitomized those types of movies. But number 1 for me, one of my favorite movies of all time, I've got Unforgiven, directed and starring Clint Eastwood. Maybe it was like maybe the swan song for Westerns in general, because it had a great closing statement by not portraying the protagonist in the film as a good guy in any way whatsoever. I mean, everything. I don't think there was any good people in this movie as far as if you talk about morale goes, but obviously you find yourself rooting for somebody, and in this case you're actually rooting for the guy who would be considered the most notorious, just based on the actions that you see at the time. So Best Picture, Best Director for Clint Eastwood. Morgan Freeman does an outstanding job as Ned Logan. The brutal sheriff is played by Little Bill Daggett's played by Gene Hackman, who won Best Supporting Actor. I just think that there's this weird parallel in the film that I like, is that Gene Hackman's character is a piss poor carpenter, and he also tries to herald himself as the savior of his town. So if you're kind of a piss poor carpenter, just telling you that you're probably a piss poor savior. So there's a weird mirror of between him and Jesus in the movie that I think is kind of interesting when you look at it a little bit deeper. So that's my top 10.
Awesome.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
So-
You and Randy had 4 crossovers. Really cool.
Cool. Awesome.
A really good list. Yeah.
Thank you.
Very good. A lot of 70s, which I'm always a proponent of. You had 4 in a row there. Awesome. You got your Hitchcock film. Awesome. And Goodfellas. What can you say about that?
Yeah.
One of the best. All right, Doc, you're on, baby.
Yeah. So what I'll say is, it's a personal list. These are just movies I'd watch. The top 10 single words. I got a list that's a mile long on movies that I like that are single words, and some of you guys have already mentioned that I won't mention now, but I kind of tried to cover off some different spectrums. So I'm going to be straight up, man. I'm going to 1980, Airplane, starting number 10. I'm going to drop a comedy on my list somewhere, man. I'm going to drop an Airplane.
Yes.
It was either that or Caddyshack, so it's a coin flip for me, and it's just
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, talk about slapstick comedies, Leslie Nielsen. It's over the top and everywhere that it does something, from the Airport series and how they mock it and everything else. But I was watching it like 2 weeks ago, man. It just still stands up to me, man. I still laugh at it. So it's one of my favorites, obviously. My number 9. If it's already talked about, I might not get into it, but from 2014, I think it might even be the same spot as you, Brian. I got Interstellar.
Yep.
Here as well.
Same spot.
Yeah, I like into the space things, man. Out there right now. Project Hail Mary, I just saw, and it's really good. Interstellar has it's one of the best space movies, in my opinion, to be honest with you, outside of like the fantasy space movies of Star Wars and Empire and stuff. Yeah, it's Nolan. I have a lot of respect for him too, and it's incredible to watch, man. And the story, and McConaughey and Hathaway and everything else, the cast, Kane. It's got everything running through it that I like, along with the storyline that goes with it. And I like the fact that it goes at its own pace. I think that was almost draws it to me sometimes. Randy, I got you covered with 1960 Psycho at number 8 for me. I had to get a Hitchcock on here, so there's a spoiler alert in some senses, but it was a matter of which one was going to be Vertigo or Psycho. I put on Psycho before I put on Vertigo. That's just me. It's the classic, just messed up killer psycho movie, man. I don't know. Perkins is friggin' incredible. And, he's really the draw. There's no getting around it. And then Hitchcock, the way he shows you the movie, man, it's incredible. Yeah, what a fantastic! It's a classic, man. These are all classics in one level or another to me. So, and I want to cover up that superhero thing too, Brian. But I'm going with my favorite superhero movie, man. I got Superman from '78. Christopher Reeve, Margot Kidder.
There you go.
And the great Gene Hackman, man. It's heartless, evil, bad guy versus all of heart, good guy. And it's just, it's my favorite superhero movie. Loved it since day one. Still love it today. It'll always be that way. It's making my list. It's a one-word movie, and I got a superhero flick in here, man. It's sweet spot for me. Number 6 from '96, right back to Randy. That's dark comedy from the Coen Brothers, Fargo, man. It's a freaking classic. Love it. Yeah, I'm thinking it's probably my favorite Coen. I think, I don't know. I get tossed up sometimes, but man, it's awesome. Love everything about it. It's the script. It's a script-driven movie, man, that just flows and being funny, not knowing it's funny, and everything else that goes with it. And yeah, obviously the performances all the way through are top notch, man. This is a classic flick. To be fair, I want to put a horror movie in there for myself outside everything else. So from 1978, my favorite horror movie, Halloween, is making my list.
Very good.
Good one.
Yeah. It's the beginning of an era for that kind of, should we say, the step in the next direction after Texas Chainsaw, we'll say. But Carpenter's made some great movies, man, and this is one of them. It's still one of my favorites. It's got one word in the title, and it's right up my alley. So it's making my top 10, man. So, and since my number 4 will sound a lot like Brian and Randy, except I've got the S on the end of this one. It is Aliens.
Cool.
That one. I just like Aliens a little bit more than I like Alien. That's just me. I find it a little bit more, it grabs me a little bit for longer. It's just, there's no downtime, man. It's a suspenseful horror in space in a lot of senses, man. It doesn't stop. It's nonstop. It's a complete army movie, action movie, great script, bad guys. It's a perfect movie in a lot of senses, man. If you want to watch something like that, right there for me. Number 3. Yeah, my favorite sports movie of all time. Good call, Brian. Rocky, landing right here. Can't say much more than what Brian did. Love the cast. I love everything about this movie. So it doesn't matter what you all say about it. I don't care. It's my favorite. I love it. Everything about it. I've told you many times how I feel. I'm so happy Stallone did it and stuck to his guns and everything else that goes with it. A lot of senses. It's the perfect love story. A sports movie, man. It's a boxing movie, love story. That's what it is. It's the best in a lot of senses at both and the way it flows. Number 2. Goodfellas, buddy, for sure. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, you had it on your list too, right, Brian? Right,
right. Yeah. Had it number 2.
At number 2. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man, it's the ultimate mob movie, man. In a lot of senses, The Godfather, Goodfellas. I think we had this talk a while ago, maybe a year and a half. I can't remember. If I'm putting on a mob movie, man, I might put on Goodfellas before I put on Godfather once in a while too. And I go back and forth, man. It's such an easy watch for such a vicious movie in a lot of senses. So, yeah, peak Scorsese, man. But yeah, 1, I like Dreyfuss more than you. So yeah, it's Jaws. That's 1. And like I said, there's a whole list of other movies that I can say. I'm going to give you 30 more.
Yep.
But Jaws is my favorite. One of my favorite movies ever. So it's pretty straightforward. And I love everything, like the backstory on it. I love everything. I love the way it's shot, obviously. And the acting is Snyder. And as much as you say, Dreyfuss and Shaw, man, those are 3 heavy hitters showing up on the screen, man. It's a great, great flick. It's my number one. That was the first one I wrote down. So there you go.
There you go. Perfect.
I predicted that one. I thought that would be number one for you, and it was. Great job.
Thank you.
We've been hanging around too long. We know each other's lists pretty well. Although I am going to throw a couple curveballs. I don't have a Hitchcock movie in my list because my favorite Hitchcock movies have more than one word, namely Rear Window and Northwest. Those two are my top two. So I didn't want to.
Those are mine.
But
North by Northwest had 3.
That'll be at the
kicking off my list. We weren't surprised that you had Airplane in it. I knew it was between Airplane and Caddyshack, which coincidentally came out the same year, 1980. How unbelievable!
80. Yeah,
big year for comedies. Blues Brothers too. Anyway, number 10. You know, my favorite director had to land on this list. Hal Ashby, Shampoo from 1975. I just love this movie. I like the time period, the election night of 1968. There's a little orgy and a hot tub in the back, and Warren Beatty plays this charismatic hairdresser in Beverly Hills, and he's got 3 women on a string. He's having sex with them all on the same day, and then he meets a 4th one and has to bang her too. So it's just I'm living vicariously through Warren Beatty's life at this point. It's a personal favorite of mine. Number 9, poker movie, Rounders from 1998. Another one of the buddy movies. Best poker movie I've ever seen, with Matt Damon and Edward Norton in the 2 lead roles. And then you got John Malkovich playing Teddy KGB with the Oreos. That scene's killer.
Give this man his money.
Damon plays a law student who's moonlighting with making some extra money on the side playing poker, and his lifelong buddy Ed Norton just cannot play it straight, and he's always getting him in a jam. So it's an entertaining piece and scary at times too. Number 8, I have a Christopher Nolan movie, but it's an earlier one. Memento is the one I chose.
Yeah,
I love this film. You know, the guy, amnesia, he can't create new memories. He's trying to piece together a murder from the tattoos on his arms and the things he wrote down on notes. And Guy Pearce in the lead role. Fantastic movie, one of a kind, told backwards from the end of the story to the beginning, which is another twist in it, until you find it. You know, you see the end result with the dead person, then you can find out through the trickery how it came to be.
Mm-hmm.
Number 7, this might surprise some people, but this is a movie I watch every time it's on, from 1968, Bullet with Steve McQueen.
No way.
I am a Steve McQueen fan. I think he's one of the coolest actors who ever lived. He'd had a relatively short career, died young, and he only made 15, 16 movies. He did not make a lot of films, but Bullet is one with one of the all-time chase scenes. I believe it's San Francisco, is it not? Yeah, it's San Francisco with the hills, and directed by Peter Yates. Awesome. Number 6, 1995's Heat, directed by Michael Mann.
Yeah.
All-star cast with De Niro and Pacino, with their one big showdown scene at a diner, and then at the end with the chase. You got Val Kilmer in here. You got John Voight, an all-star cast, Ashley Judd and Amy Brenneman, a bunch of wives and girlfriends that add some really, I would say, substance to the film. These guys are all maniacs during the day, and they settle down at night on the streets of LA. Some great shootout scenes, stylishly directed by Mr. Michael Mann. Number 5 is Witness from 1985. Directed by Peter Weir. I love Harrison Ford's performance as the Philadelphia detective who has to live on this Amish farm for recovery. He was wounded. They take care of him, and he gives a whole new insight into their lifestyle. Kelly McGillis is very good here too. I love the film. Beautiful scenery, the landscape, everything about it. Is wonderful. Number 4, I've got my Woody Allen movie in here, Manhattan from 1979. Black and white, the architecture, the music. It's really a work of art with Woody, Diane Keaton, Mariel Hemingway is the teenage girl. Michael Murphy's in here. A good cast. And, the usual angst of New York City's neurotic upper crust. Great stuff. Number 3, I think three of us are in agreement anyway. Rocky is my number 3 from 1976. Shot in Philadelphia. Shout out there. One of the all-time great underdog stories. The cast, perfect with Stallone, Talia Shire, Burgess Meredith, Burt Young, and what's his name? Carl Weathers as Apollo Creed. Colorful, Ali-like with the outfit and the razzmatazz and the braggadocio stuff. It's just a wonderful movie. The training scenes with the meat packing plant and the hugging around up the art museum, eating the raw eggs, all that memorable stuff is in there. It's got a lot of character, and it's a great film. Number 2 is Chinatown, Roman Polanski's masterpiece from 1974 with Jack Nicholson, my favorite actor, Faye Dunaway, who was in her prime at that time, and a wonderful performance by John Huston as the villain Noah Cross. He had so much villainous tone to this movie. It's just fantastic. Great script by Robert Towne. The music's fantastic. Set decorate, everything. Like Randy said, it's a perfect film. Number 1, the only one that tops it for me, Fargo from 1996, directed by the Coen brothers. These characters, it's a short film, only like 93, 94 minutes, but every scene is priceless all the way through. Again, with the scenery, the snow and the blood on the snow and just the violence and the comedy, dialogue, and the cast, again. You have to look at the cast. It means everything when you have the right people in the right roles. Frances McDormand, Steve Buscemi, William H. Macy, right down the list. Peter Stormare. I mean, come on. Everything in there is fantastic. Even the people that live in the city, the girls at the hotel, and the escort who's watching, what's Jose Feliciano. They cast these roles perfectly. Yeah. Everything in the movie's fantastic, and it works in repeated viewings, even though you know what's coming. I can watch this movie 10 times a year, and it's been out for 30 years. So one of these movies I watch every time it's on. I feel bad about leaving good off, but you go with some of these lesser light favorites of mine and going for the the chalk, as they say. Yeah. So that's our list.
Very good. You're darn good.
I left off some favorites too. I mean, Fargo was in my top 15. So was Aliens. So was Inception. Actually, Christopher Nolan had a lot of one-word movies. He had Tenet, Memento, Inception, Interstellar. He had a lot. So,
yeah. So let's just pull up. I made a little chart as we were going around here and see what the list looks like. I can get it. There it is. There's everybody's list. We've got a Casablanca, Unforgiven, a Jaws, and a Fargo, all in number 1 spot. And some crossover. There's a lot of mutual favorites as well, as you can see.
3 Jaws, 3 Rocky.
Right. Couple Chinatowns, right?
3 Fargo? No, maybe not. Yeah. Maybe just 2. Just 2, I guess.
No, there's 3 Fargos.
3 Fargos.
There's 3 Fargos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple of Vertigos, Psychos, Jaw. I mean, there's a lot of
2 Alien, 1 Aliens.
Yeah.
Right. Anyway, that was a fun one to do. I just want to read off some. If you guys have any honorable mentions, I'd be glad to hear them. What do I have here? I have it somewhere.
Yeah, I can tell you that, like I said, it's a personal list. I had movies like Manhunter, Poltergeist, Unbreakable. I had Witness down as well. Predator, RoboCop, Guy flicks. Those are right up my alley, man. So,
Yeah, I had 7, the great
7.
Badlands, which almost made my list. Platoon, of course, Titanic, Tootsie, I like the movie Boyhood, which came out in the 2000s by Richard Linklater. There's a bunch of good one-word titles, you know.
I had Frankenstein, but I could have had Dracula on there too. I do love those old Universals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
all right. It's great to be back, guys. We ran through
Yeah.
that in a half an hour. Hope everybody enjoys the video. Leave some comments on your favorite one-word title for movies. We'd love to hear some back and forth and some conjecture as to what we missed. Because I know we missed some. There's so many great ones. So go check out Brian's channel at Massey's Main Entertainment, Randall Nelson. We will be back hopefully in the not too distant future with another topic. Until then, thank you for watching, and we will see you next time. Bye.